Yo, yo, RX back with another breakdown of UFC London Aspinall versus Volkov. It's a fine card. It's obviously missing one big named Brit and Darren Till. But besides, it's a very good card. You got Patty, you got Arnold, Tom, Lil, Molly, McKenna. Hopefully we get Nathaniel Wood rebooked. I'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But yeah, it's a fun card. We finally got a fight night, not in the Apex for the first time since Oliveira and Lee? Question mark. So yeah, W's. But yeah, not much more to say. Actually, yeah, a little to say here. Not talk about card, but I just want to give quick Happy St. Patrick's Day. I know it's not the most important or biggest holiday, but it's a holiday, so Happy St. Patrick's Day. And last thing before we get into the breakdown, like, comment, sub, 100 gold sub by the end of the year. And as always, let's get into this. First fight on the card is Muhammad Morkaev versus Cody Durden. A lot of people are hyped up about this Muhammad kid. A lot of people hyped up on him. I've not really seen much of him. I might have seen a clip or two, but besides that, I've not seen much. And well, I think we all know Cody Durden for the wrong reasons, but you know, it is what it is. 5-0 Muhammad. Does he come off Contender Series? No, he's coming off fucking regional. Interesting. Yeah, I heard this guy's very good. He's Russian, then moved to London, or something like that. Yeah, he's good. From what I've heard. I can't really say much on him because I've barely seen anything, and I don't do tape study because no. But yeah, I heard he's very good and very good prospect. He's only 21 years old. I think he's the youngest fighter on the roster. Interesting. Yeah, I heard he's very, very good. And then for his opponent, not well loved by many, Cody Durden. To look past his Twitter, yeah, he's a fine fighter, nothing to write home about, but you know, it is what it is. In his last fight against, was it Alatang? Yeah, or no, however you say the guy's name, had a war with him, took the W. A lot of people said that was a robbery. No. Yeah, no. But yeah, and then before that, fucking losing to Jimmy Flick in his only UFC fight. So yeah, so he's won 1-1 in the UFC. A lot of people want to see him get his head knocked off. And Willie, he's wrestler but can strike very little. Yeah, he's not great. He's whatever. I think he's a whatever fighter. So the betting odds, but to talk about these betting odds, Muhammad coming in minus 340 to plus 260. I think I'd move him down to maybe a 300 on the money to 250. But either way, I think Muhammad is gonna take the W here. I would, unless he has like a really bad gas tank I don't know about, or a weak chin that nobody knows about, I think Muhammad should pretty soundly take the W here. So yeah, I'm going Muhammad Morkaev Volkov by sub in round 1. I was thinking about knockout, but nah, I think I'm gonna get the sub. So yeah, I'm going Muhammad Marquez submission in round number 1. About 65% confident. But yeah, Muhammad start off the card. 1 second. I am recording this at 11:44 a.m. Yeah. But next up, actually, this is where I want to talk about Nathaniel Wood, because he should be the next fight on the card right here against Vince Morales, but that got scratched yesterday. But right now they're looking to replace Morales with either David Grant, whose name in there yesterday, which I like that fight a lot. I think Wood takes it, or I guess Alo Tapoya has a brother, and he's in London with Alo right now, so he could step in and fight Nathaniel Wood. So I think Wood takes that also. So hopefully they do book one of those two fights, and I think Wood takes them both. So just wanted to throw that out there, since probably if I record this at my normal record time, that'd be in the breakdown, but I'm recording it now. Yeah. Just want to, so either way, I think Wood is gonna win. After that, a interesting fight, and one with a very nice prospect. Elise versus Cory Poppins Mckenna. Speaking of young, 22 years old. Goddamn, these youngsters. Let's start with Elise. Elise Reed in her last fight, getting almost murdered by Sejura Eubanks. She is only 4-1 in MMA. Does have a win over Jasmine Jasdavicius, which has aged well. Yeah, who did she step in for? I'm just interested I forget who she stepped in for on this card. Oh, Keshweda. Nice. Yeah, she got completely dominated. Honestly, from the little I've seen of her, she probably is not UFC level. She was Cage Fury champion, I guess. That's something. But yeah, I really don't think she's the greatest fighter in the world. So yeah. And now I'll talk about the very, very young prospect I we've not seen in a while for some reason. And I'm happy we're finally seeing her back in here. Cory Mckenna. She had a very nice Contender Series performance against Vanessa Demopoulos, and then she had a very good performance against Kay Hansen, which was almost fucking 2 years ago. November 2020. She only had one fight booked last year and it got canceled against Emily Whitmire, and now she's back. I like Cory. I think she has a lot of potential for only being 22 and already having a win over Vanessa Demopoulos, who had a great last fight. Kay Anthony, it's not the greatest, but still good. Very nice. I think she's Team Alpha Male? Yeah. Great camp behind her. 6-1. I think Cory's very good, and I think she, well, for being 22, over the next 15 years, maybe in the UFC, she could be something. It sucks we didn't get to see her last year, so she's gonna probably have to knock the rust off a little bit in there, maybe for the first few minutes. Besides that, I think she'll be fine to go. And yeah, not much more to say with only one UFC fight and one Contender Series fight. The betting odds do have Cory Mckenna coming in -225 to +185. Yeah, I'd have Cory about 200, 210, 220. Yeah. I don't think Elise Reed's that good, personally. Could she win this fight? Definitely, but do I think she's gonna? No. There would be a very surprising upset, and I just don't see it happening personally. So I'm going Cory Mckenna by probably decision. Yeah, probably decision. So, yeah, I'm going Cory McKenna by decision. About 80% confident. So, yeah. McKenna decision. After that, a very good fight. And speaking of a Wales fighter, back to back with McKenna, and now with this man, a very good fight. And God, I wish it was still the original fight. Jack Tank Shore versus Timur Lucky Valiev. Yeah, Jack Shore, the second Wales fighter on this card, 15-0. Very impressive. And then you got Timur, and who was stepping in a couple weeks ago for Umar Nurmagomedov. I guess the UFC just didn't feel like having on this card, so they moved him to UFC. Oh fuck! They moved him to UFC 272 a couple weeks back when he ran through Brian Keller. So, but now let's talk about Jack Sherman. Not the one flaw with Jack Shore that I saw on Twitter a couple weeks back, that every time he gets a really good fight booked against a guy who would give him a good challenge, the guy pulls out and he gets a way easier fight, I guess would be the term. Because look, so he's booked against, let's say, right here, he booked against Umar Nurmagomedov for this card. Timur Valiev steps in. He's booked versus Khalil Taha, and that fight gets canned. So it's like, his best UFC win is fucking Ludovic Shalolian. Shalolian. Like Aaron Phillips, Hunter Azure. Not great. This is his first, I guess, real challenge in a way. Jack's, I think, very good. I think if he got better striking, he could be a serious problem. But his striking's about mid, but his wrestling, grappling, whatever, it's very, 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 very good. Like, I think the kid has a bright future, only 27 years old, in the bantamweight division no less, which I think hurts and helps him. Because the bantamweight division does not really have that wrestler like Marab, and really that's it. So, I think Shore's very good. If he got striking, if Jack Shore got good strike, even decent striking like Rob Dvalishvili, I think you can say future champion. But right now I think his ceiling right now of how high good striking is top 10. So yeah, I like Shore though. I really do like Jack Shore. And talk about Timur Valiev. Coming off, what was his last fight? Was it the Barcelos fight? Where he knocked, was his last fight Barcelos? Yeah, coming off the Barcelos upset when he was plus 180 dog. Everyone was hyping up Barcelos, and then Valiev beat him pretty convincingly, no less. Yeah, Valiev is 2-0-1 in the UFC, beating Martin Day also, and then a no contest with Trevin Jones. However, I don't remember. If I remember that, Valiev got completely ran through, and then I guess Jones popped for something. So, but yeah, Timur, I think's fine. I think in this fight, you gotta look at it the one like who's the better wrestler, Jack Shore. Who's better on the feet? Fuck, that's a good question. Probably Timur. I wanna say Timur. So it's like, what do you think that Timur is gonna stop Shore's takedowns and strike and win, or do you think Shore is gonna wrestle and out wrestle Timur? So the betting odds think that Timur is gonna do the stopping and the striking, because they have Timur coming in, terrible betting line by the way, minus 175 to plus 140. No, Jack Shore should be the favorite here. I would have Jack Shore minus 150 to plus 130. Why is he the underdog? I still don't know. But yeah, he's for some reason the fucking underdog. I think Shore will win this fight. I think he will be able. Maybe he'll come out here with some shockingly really good striking. Would I bet on that? No. But I think he can squeak out a decision. So I'm going Jack Shore by decision. I think the kid has very bright potential, and hopefully, knock on wood, kind of like let's say Dustin Jacobian way, he finally, after this, if he wins, he'll get a higher opponent after beating so many of these challenges, I guess, in a way. So hopefully after this he can be getting a higher opponent who doesn't pull out, by the way. So he's been booked against Sed and Umar Nurmagomedov. Shut up, Discord. So yeah, I'm going Jack Shore by decision. About 78% confident. I think he should take it. Should, keyword. Next fight on the card. Why is it so down on the prelims? Don't know. Nikita the Minor Krylov versus Paul Bearjew Craig. Very good fight here. What the fuck are these betting on? Very, very good fight here. Why is it so far down the card when this is two ranked light heavyweights? I don't know, but whatever. Let's talk about Nikita Krylov. And we'll talk about his last 5 fights. Losing to Magomed Goliath in a pretty shit fight, if I remember correctly. Then wrestling Johnny Walker for 3 rounds, losing to Glover Teixeira, subbing OSP, and then getting subbed by Jan Blachowicz. And then notable UFC fights before that, really none. Oh, wait, fight Walt Harris. He fought Walt Harris? Why the fuck did he fight Walt Harris? Yeah. Yeah. Krylov is good. I think his wrestling is fine. But actually, his wrestling is his fucking strong point, and then his striking is meh. I think it's very meh, to say the least. Especially in this fight, I think in this fight against who he is fighting, especially when it comes to wrestling, his wrestling ability kind of looks weak. I don't think Krylov is bad, but the bad thing for him, he's how old? He's 29, I thought he was older. The worst thing for him, I really don't think he's that great, let alone he's in a stacked, first time we can say that in years, a stacked light heavyweight division. Because let's be honest, just look at the top 5. Who does Nikita Krylov beat in that top 5? He's already lost to 2 of them. 3 of them, my bad. Does he beat Yuri Orachik? No. So, keep that in mind. Yeah. Like, who's, I just want to know who is his best win? Johnny Walker? Just saying. No hate to Krylov, but not that high on him. Never really been that high on Nikita Krylov. But to talk about his highly hyped up opponent, who was very good, Paul Craig, man. In his last fight, breaking the arm, don't care what doctors say, that's an arm break, of Johnny Walker. Wow. And he's only lost, ever since the Menifield fight, he's just been on a killing streak. Shogun, Walker, now he's here. he very, very, very good wrestling. That's why I say I think Krylov's wrestling kind of looks weak compared to Craig's here, because I think Craig is one of the best wrestlers in the division. Besides Glover Teixeira, unless I'm blatantly forgetting someone, who's a better wrestler? I'm honestly trying to think, and in the top 15, like I said, unless I'm blatantly forgetting someone, I can't think of anyone. The one bad thing about Craig here is I heard about 2 months ago, I believe, he was considering retirement, which, yeah, he's 34, but dude, he's in the best point of his career right now. And one bad thing, when I hear fighter, I think it goes for a lot of people, when you hear a fighter talk about retirement, most of the time it means they probably don't have that fighting fire anymore, or they're losing that fire. Well, hopefully Paul Craig has got that fire back throughout this week, and yeah. And since I talked about Krylov, where do I think Craig's ceiling is in UFC? Top 5. I don't think being a champion. I think guys like Yuri and Ratchet beat him. So, yeah. What's that? The violent card in the morning. The betting out is stupid again. Hopefully, I'm praying they're backwards like a couple weeks ago they were. Nikita Krylov minus 175. Paul Craig plus 145. No. I would have Paul Craig minus 180 plus 160. I don't know how you could have Krylov the favorite here. I think you're an idiot. I think Craig should win this pretty soundly. So, yeah, I'm going Paul Craig by probably by decision. So, yeah. I'm going Paul Craig by decision. I think he should win pretty soundly, about 80% confident. Krylov's good, just I don't think he's that level in that division. Craig decision. After that, you got some Russian heavyweights. Shamil, Abrahimov versus Sergey Pavlovic. Shamil, second fight since his return. Like 40 years old now. Did not look good in his last fight. Talk about it in a second. And Sergey's first fight in 2.5 years. Let's talk about old man Shamil. Like I said, Shamil in his last fight was his first fight in 2 years? Yeah, against Chris Dawkins, he looked very bad. He looked like a 40-year-old man in there. But before that, he was winning and losing to Lewis and Blade, beating Arlovsky and Tybura. He was looking very good, and then he just did not fight, man. He had 5 fights booked over 2020 and 2021 until the Dawkins fight, and all of them got scratched. 2 against Gon, 2 against Dawkins, and 1 against Sakai. So, yeah. To be honest, I don't see Shamil doing much in the UFC at this point. At 40 in a division that's getting better, he may, I don't know, he could maybe win fights against the shittier heavyweights, but in the rankings, who is he beating? Like, no one. So, maybe he was just knocking the rust off in the Dawkins fight, but I think he's gonna get knocked off in this fight. And yeah, not much more to say about Shamil. He's 40. But talk about Sergey Pavlovic. Not been a long time no see, man. 14-1. His only loss coming to Andre, or no, not Andre Arlovsky, Alistair Uberim. Besides that, he is 2-1 in the UFC. Damn, his first UFC fight was a Coleman. 2-1 in the UFC, and then we've not seen him since 2019. He's had 3 fights canceled over the past couple years. Cyril Gahn, Tom Aspinall, and Tanner Boser. But he's back now. And it's good to have him back. He was ranked for a minute He's ranked for a minute. He was not fighting, and now he's fighting. If he wins this, he in his first fight in 2 years, he shoots himself right back up into the top. Where is Shamil ranked right now? 10th, 11th, something like that. So he shoots himself up pretty fucking high. So yeah, he's good. He likes to knock motherfuckers out. His 2 UFC ones are pretty bad. Marcel Green and Marcelo Gomes. So yeah. The betting odds do have Sergey Pavlovic coming in minus 300 to plus 240. I agree. If you want to raise that number by 100 or so to 400 or 500, knock yourself out. And my pick for this fight, I'm going Sergey Pavlovic by knockout in the first. I think he's going to come back with a vengeance, angry and ready. Shamil's 40, Sergey's 11 years younger. I think he should win this pretty easily. So Pavlovic by knockout in the first, about 90% confident. And then to talk about the featured prelim for some fucking reason. This fight's going on after Shore, Shamil, and Craig. Mike Grundy versus Makwan, Mr. Finland, Amerikane. Let's talk about Mike Grundy. 1-2 in the UFC in his first UFC fight. When Capology would like to load. In his first UFC fight, beating Narimani, whoever the fuck that is. And then in his last 2 fights, losing to Mansour Evloev and Lando Venata. Can't get mad at the Evloev loss, and the Venata loss ain't terrible, not great. Not for some reason I don't remember my Grundy fight. I remember the Venata fight very slightly, but how do you not remember a Lando Venata fight? I don't remember the Evloev fight at all for some reason. Like, is he really that unforgettable as a fighter? I think Grundy's a whatever fighter. Not great. He's a wrestler. He's good at what he does. What else do you really want me to say about Mike Grundy? And I'll talk about Mr. Finland. This guy was on a nice hot streak a minute ago. And then he wasn't. He was on a nice hot streak. And then he fought Edson Barboza. And then since that Barboza fight, he's been shit. Even though he got robbed against Kamala Kirk, still. In his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll go 6 fights, 7 fights since the Jason Knight fight. He's 4-4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. No, sorry, 4-3. Yeah. And if you look at his losses, Shane Burgos, Edson Barboza, Lerone Murphy, you can't get mad at those. But his wins are very weak. Jason Knight, Chris Fishgold, Danny Henry, Kamala Kirk. Kind of crazy. I don't think Makwan Amerikane is that good. He's wrestling he has very bad gas tank, and he's mainly wrestling. So, and in his last fight against Murphy, he's so predictable. Murphy just need him in the fucking head. So, on a takedown attempt. So, yeah. Not his greatest looks lately. But if on the ground, Marco Americani is very fucking scary. Just A, the worst thing for him in this fight, he's fighting another wrestler. And B, he gasses very easily. So it's like, yeah. The betting odds for this fight do have Mike Grundy coming in -135 to +110. Honestly, I'd probably have Grundy like -120 to +110. The slightest of favorites. I think the only reason I think he's gonna win this fight is because maybe round 1 will be boring but scary. But I think he will put on such a pressure on Makwan, he'll gas him and probably win a decision. I'm going Mike Grundy by decision, about 55% confident. Yeah, so those are the prelims. Hopefully, get Nathaniel Wood rebooked. And I have not got any news on it yet. Maybe we'll get news live, quote quote, during this recording. But right now, those are the prelims. Why Grundy and Makwan's going on after Jack Shore, Nikita Krylov, and Shamil Abrahimov, we'll never fucking know. But whatever, UFC likes Mr. Finland. But this main card's very good, with Brit talent covering it. Returns, prospects. No Darren Till, even though we're in fucking London. That's like not having Connor in Ireland. So, but the first fight on the card, which, like, let me just fact check one thing. Who is this supposed to be? Okay, I forgot. First fight on the card, which was not the originally booked fight, but you know, shit happens. Jai the Black Country Banger Herbert, amazing nickname, versus Alil El Matador Tapoya. This was supposed to be Jai Herbert versus Mike Davis, but that fight got canned 2 weeks ago, I think, something like that. And Alil Tapoya stepped in. Very big step up in competition for Jai Herbert, going from Conor Worthy and Hanato Moicano to Alil Tapoya. Let's talk about Jai Herbert. 1 and 2 in the UFC. Against Trinaldo, got completely flatlined. Against Moicano, just got completely out wrestled. And against Worthy, yeah, he knocked him out. But knocking out a 35-year-old Conor Worthy should not be like that big of a feather in your cap. And now he's fighting Alil Tapoya. I think Herbert's fine. 33 years old. Even when he was entering the UFC, when he was very hyped up, I was like, I don't really care about this guy. Like, I think he's fine, but I thought people very highly touting him as he could be a ranked guy in 45 and all that. No, he can't. I don't see the love and hype for this guy. Yeah, his nickname's amazing, but nicknames don't get you fucking titles. So, yeah. And for the opponent, Alil 11 and 2 Tapoya, and I say that because he ducked Charles Jourdain and ran away from Paddy Pimblett. Well, Tapoya in his 3 UFC fights have looked great against the Lal, coming in an underdog. I wish I would have picked him. Looked great against a can like him. And then after that, running through Damon Jackson like he did, and then he had the perfect game plan to beat Ryan Hall. Tapoya is very, 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 very good. I think he has a lot of potential in the cage. Without the cage, he's kind of a dick. He's a weird fucking dude out the cage. I think this should be a layup for Tapoya, to be honest. Like, honestly, I see why he took this fight. Get eyes on him opening a main card and London no less. I think that they should just get eyes on him. This should be a layup. Betting odds agree. Minus 380 for Lil Tapuya to plus 300. I agree. You can move that number up for a little. I think he should walk through Jai Herbert. Unless how big 5'7", 6'1", don't love that. But whatever. Yeah, I think he's gonna walk through Jai Herbert. So I'm going to Lil Tapuya knockout in the first. Very confident, about 95%. Really don't see how he loses. He would really need to choke it. Not much to say. After that, we get the female legend in Britain, Meatball Molly McCain, and versus Luana Dread Carolina. Yeah, dreadful to watch her fights. Let's start with the Meatball. Who fucking doesn't love Molly McCain? And her last fight against Ji-Yeon Kim, of course, had a banger. And then she did drop 2 straight to Talia Santos, can't get mad at that, and Laura Procopio. But before that, she got a nice 3-fight winning streak. Keshweta, Lipsky, and Bopita. Very nice. Molly's very good. Very, very good. I would not be shocked if we see her in the rankings soon. Like 15. I think Molly's very good, and she's only what, 31, so she's still young. Someone tried to say 30 and up is old yesterday on Twitter for fighters. Like, no, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah, Molly McCain just has that fire, bro. Who not many people can handle that fire in there. Ji-Yeon Kim couldn't. And Molly took that dub. I remember she was the dogs there, and I was like, how the fuck? I'm taking Molly. I like Molly. Molly's fucking cool. So. Like, all respect and love to the Meatball. Seems like a very, very fucking cool person and just a fun fighter. Yeah, who doesn't love a Meatball? She's a striker, and she will fucking strike with one eye. Go watch the Keshweta fight. And now to talk about dreadful Luana Carolina. I don't think this chick's that good. I won't lie to you. Never thought Luana Carolina was good. Like, in her 3 UFC fights, getting her leg bent back by Ariane Lipsky. Then beating Puliana Botelho, and then beating Lupi Godinez, even though I don't think she won that fight. Personally, I think Godinez won that shit. But whatever. I don't really see Carolina as that good of a fighter. I won't lie to you. I think she's fine, but if you honestly ask me, do I think she's a better fighter than Molly McCain? No. Like, honestly, no. I really fucking don't. I think, like, honestly, in this fight, I think Molly McCain should easily win. Just outstrike Carolina. So, the betting odds do have Molly McCain. Really, I'll take it back. Really, it's near fucking even. So, I think Molly should be like minus 200. Personally, at home, gonna be hype as shit. I think Molly takes this one pretty soundly. So, we'll Meatball by decision, about 85% confident. After that, a return. 4 fights left, and we get a huge return. Gunnin Nelson versus Takashi 10 Sato. This is supposed to be Claudio Silva versus Gunnar Nelson, but I think this is a better fight. Gunnar Nelson, not seen in what, 2.5 years. Last fight against Gilbert Burns. He's back, man. It's been way too long. Been way too long. If Ponzinibbio can come back last year, Gunnar's come back this year. Good to have him back, man. What tab odds you want to follow his record? Thank you. Yeah, and the funny thing I talked about with Shamil and Sergey, um, he's not had any fights booked on a card. He was not, like, he's had 2 fights canceled, and they were both just rescheduled, and he just still fought on that card. So he's literally just not been booking fights for, like, 2 years. The last 2 fights were against Leon Edwards and Gilbert Burns, so he was fighting the top tier of top tier in that division. His last one was Alex Oliveira, and then before that he lost to Santiago Ponzinibbio, and was that a main event, if I'm correct? It was. Yeah. I like Gunnar Nelson. I miss Gunnin. We needed Gunnar back, man. We needed Gunnar back. I think it was weird not having him back. And now he's back, man. We all know Gunnar Nelson's gonna do. Then go out there and have a war. Cause that's what Gunnar Nelson does. He'll wrestle and he'll strike. And now talk about his opponent coming in on, I think, a week and a half notice. Something around that. Takashi Sato. We've not seen him in a while, too. In about, what, a year? I think his last fight was Miguel Baeza. Yeah, that was about a year ago. No, sorry. Yeah, about a year and a half ago. In his last couple fights, knocking Jason Wood out easily, but then losing to Miguel Baeza and Bilal Muhammad. Can't really get mad at those 2 losses. And yeah, so he is 2-2 in the UFC, but his 2 wins are not great, and his 2 losses are to top guy, very top. Well, a very good prospect and a top 5 guy that he shouldn't be ranked that high. Sato's mainly just, he has a lot of fucking power and will knock you out. Besides that, when it gets to technical shit like wrestling, he does not really have it, so. With that being said, what do I think's gonna happen here? Well, I'll tell you what the betting odds think. Gunnar Nelson minus 350 plus 270. I would move that down to minus 250. I think 350 is a little much for a guy we've not seen in 2.5 years. So, yeah. But what I think is going to happen, I think Gunnar Nelson is going to come back, get a W, and it's going to be a submission in round 2. I think round 1 he'll be knocking the rust off, but in round 2 Sato will probably be gassed a little bit, and Gunnar Nelson will be fine. Will be back in Gunnar mode, and he's gonna get the dub, man. Good to have Gunnin back. And I'm on that prediction of sub round 2 Gunny. I'm about 80% confident. Oh yeah. Ooh, this fight's interesting, mainly just because, one, we already know what's gonna happen, mate. Patty! The Batty! Pimplet versus Rodrigo Cazula Vargas. You already know who we're talking about first. Patty the Batty. The most interesting prospect in UFC right now. After his not amazing performance against Luigi Vangermini, but still got dub, all that matters. He's here, man. He's fucking here. I said this on Twitter like 2 days ago and I got a shit ton of likes. Go follow me on Twitter. Link down below. He's the future of the UFC. He's one of the future of the UFC guys. I look at Patty as the worst case scenario. He's Cory Mckenna. Never wins the belt, but he draws nice numbers every time. And on a nice 3-fight winning streak. And being the next London star, with Darren Till being a complete flop. I'm ready for Batty. His one problem, he leaves his chin up badly. But if you don't get knocked out, what's the worst case scenario? You get hit, you get hurt. So yeah. And then to talk about Rodrigo Vargas, this is a fucking layup fight for Patty Pimplet. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna waste your time. Do you really think the UFC does not look at this as a layup? Why? Paddy Pimblett should not be fighting Rodrigo Vargas. He should be fighting someone way better. This is a layup so Paddy can get a nice win in London. And that's all that the UFC cares about. Rodrigo is 1-2 in the UFC last fight, coming against Zhurong with a nice win. But he's going to lose here. He's not winning. If he wins, Paddy Pimblett's the biggest flop since the fucking CM Punk. Paddy Pimblett is minus 410 to plus 310. I would have Paddy 5 or more. Paddy's my lock for the night just because this is a layup. UFC knows what they're doing. The UFC is very smart. I'll give UFC this. They're smart. They know what they're doing. Piss people off all they want with this booking. They are going to build the guy up with layups. They did it with Sean O'Malley. They did it with Hamzat Chimaev. Now those two guys I just named are fighting higher guys. Paddy's not. After this, he'll probably fight someone like fucking Donald Cerrone. Or someone shitty. But what are we gonna do about it, man? Paddy Pimblett's gonna win this fight, and gonna be by a knockout in round 1. So, yeah, I'm going to Paddy. Lock of the night just because last round is a layup. Knockout in round number 1. Get the crowd hyped as fuck for the last 2 fights of the night. But yeah, I'm 100% confident in the Paddy. I don't know how you couldn't be. Next fight, the co-main event of the evening. 46 minutes and damn, time's flying. Arnold Almighty Allen versus Dan the Hangman Hooker. Hooker's back down and Arnold gets his real first challenge. Let's talk about Almighty. Allen is undefeated in the UFC. Last fight coming against Sadiq Youssef in a very good performance. He did gas late, but still very good performance. Before that, he has wins over Nick Lance and Gilbert Melendez, Makwan Mirkane. So yeah, he's really not great. His best one is Sadiq Youssef. And the annoying thing, kind of like Jack Shore in a way, he's had really good fights booked, like Josh Emmett would have been an amazing challenge for him. What fights got canned, and he fought Nick Lance and Gilbert Melendez. I think Arnold's very good. I think he's kind of underrated in a way, because he's fought kind of weak competition. But dude, ranked 7th at featherweight right now, which is fucking insane. Yeah, I think he's good. I think he's good. I think this... I'm very surprised by this matchmaking, given Hooker, a lesser known guy in a way, at 45 for his return down there. Like, I thought they would give him maybe like a Shane Burgos, oh my god, that fight. Or, Calvin Kattar, if they could do that. Or something like that. But Arnold Allen, that's interesting. Yeah, I think Allen good. He has a little bit of everything in his arsenal. And now talk about the drained man, Dan Hooker. Finally moving back down for the first time in years. What was his last featherweight fight? Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably like Jason Knight, Yair Rodriguez, something like that. Yeah, he's not great at featherweight, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But then he moves up to lightweight and fights. Dude, let me name you Dan Hooker's last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 last 9 fights at lightweight, and this is from 2018 and up. Gilbert Burns, Edson Barboza, James Vick, Ali Quintet, Paul Felder, Dan Hooker, Michael Chandler, Nasrat Akbaraz, Islam Makhachev. Besides Nasrat and James Vick, Hooker has only fought some of the best and had wars with Felder and Poirier. Yeah, he got crushed by Chandler and Islam, but that just shows how good those guys are. Man, oh shit, how overrated Dustin Poirier is. Shit. Hooker's very good. I don't get this move down. Yeah, I guess he's frustrated, but you're giving up your number 8 ranking to move down, drain yourself, and win this fight. Like, instead of having an easy way cut and maybe just getting back on your feet at 55, kill yourself at 45, and probably not win. Yeah, and I'll go back to what I was gonna say. You wanna know why Hooker sucked at 45? Because he was fucking killing himself to make it. He's draining himself to make 45. He should not be making 145. And that's why, if this fight was no drained, if this was full strength Hooker, no drained, I think he wins this fight. But since he's probably gonna be fucking drained as fuck, he's not winning this fight. Full everything. If this was full ready Hooker, then maybe he would win. He's not winning this fight because he's drained. Unless Hooker just fucking unless he just knows how to cut weight better than anyone else now, he's gonna be drained and not ready. And that's why I say Arnold Allen gets the biggest one of his career as a kind of an upset, even though the betting odds are near even. And I think people are gonna be surprised. If Hooker misses weight tomorrow, I wouldn't be fucking shocked. I won't lie to you. So, yeah. I'm going Almighty, who is near even betting odds. So I'm going Almighty by decision. I think the kid's gonna shock people. I think he's gonna shock people Saturday night. Almighty decision. No, depending on how drained Hooker is, he might finish him. But yeah. And now the main event of the evening. Alexander Drago Volkov versus Tom Aspinall. Here we go, baby. Main event field. Let's talk about Drago. We all know Alexander Volkov, complete tall motherfucker, but a gatekeeper no less. His last fight against Marcin Tybura, I don't fucking remember well because it was shit. Throw gone, didn't look great against. He looked great against Overeem and Walt Harris, but are those really great wins in 2021? Lost Curse Blades, couldn't even finish Greg Hardy. Just name off a couple of his fights, and then we know the Derek Lewis fight where he has 0 fight IQ. So, yeah. Volkov's very good. Mainly, honestly, if he was like a normal size, not 6'7", he would be like not great. But because he's so fucking tall, that's what makes him good. Because honestly, he ain't that good. I'm sorry, break news to people. I don't look at Alexander Volkov that good. Like honestly, look, who does he beat above him? Tai Tuivasa? I don't think so. Lost Derek Lewis already. Lost Curtis Blades. Loses to Stipe. Lost to Ghana already. Would lose to Ngannou. And yeah, the only reason I say he beats for a good chunk of guys under him because he's fucking tall. Like, same height as, if he was the same height as a, just for say, I don't fucking know. Let's just, Walt Harris, who he fought. Does Alexander Volkov beat him? Or Marcin Tybura? Does he beat him if they're the same height? No. Probably not. So, I never looked at Volkov as that good. So, I'm just saying. But for his opponent, Tom Aspinall, which I know a lot of people think, but you think Volkov's not good, but you think Aspinall's good? I think Aspinall's good. Yeah, his wins are very weak, but I think he's very good. Yeah, Jake Collier, Alan Badeau, Andre Arlovsky, and Sergey Spivak are not great wins, but they're wins, and he's looked amazing winning, which I think all that matters. I think the kid has a lot of potential. I think he's very good. I really don't see many holes in his game. The only hole I'm scared of is how's his gas tank? If his gas tank's very good, because we've only seen him going to round 2 for a minute, so we don't know what his gas tank is like. I just want to see how many decisions or late round fights does he have. None. Cool. But yeah, I got wrapped this video, so I'm going Tom Aspinall by knockout / TKO in around round 4. The betting odds have Volkov as a slight favorite. That's stupid. Aspinall should be the favorite. And yeah, I wrapped this video up though. To go over my picks one more time: Muhammad Murakov round 1, Cory Mckenna decision, Jack Shore decision, Paul Craig decision, Sergey knockout round 1, Grundy decision, Alil knockout round 1, Molly decision, Gunner submission round 2, Patty knockout round 1, lock, Arnold Allen decision, Tom Aspinall knockout in round 4. Those are my picks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy the card. Hope you like this Friday afternoon time. I might do this more often. And not much more to say, guys. You'll see me Sunday or Monday, I don't know yet, for the recap. And as always, RX. I hate to rush this ending, but kinda gotta. RX out. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.